like this video is so hard for me to start off. You guys know I like to do my little spiel at the start of this video. I don't even know why I'm making this video, but I felt like it's something interesting and it's something I kind of wanted to talk about. ATGames, ATGames, ATGames. Now I know what you're saying to yourself, RGT85, you hate ATGames. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I do not hate ATGames. I don't necessarily like them, but I don't hate them. I think they've done some okay things in the past. Things like their Atari systems are okay. Things like the Intellivision system and the ColecoVision system that they did were okay. Most of my disdain with ATGames comes from, of course, the Sega Genesis library of products. Those were just not very good, and there was lots of problems with them in terms of emulation. There was problems with sound. There was problems with performance. I just did not like those ATGames Sega Genesis consoles. But as a whole of a company, I sort of see where they're coming from with things. They're obviously wanting to tap into a retro market, and you know, sometimes they do okay-ish things. Like I said, the Intellivision, the ColecoVision they've released over the years, they weren't terrible systems. But ATGames is back in the spotlight, and not because of the supposed falling out partnership with Sega. Of course, Sega was releasing the Mega Drive Mini that was supposed to come this year. Supposedly ATGames was working on it, and then all of a sudden it looks like it's going to be done in-house instead of with ATGames. So what is ATGames going to do in this situation? Obviously losing Sega is a big deal, and losing Sega as a company that you're working with and of course providing a system for is a big deal. Well, ATGames is back, baby. ATGames is back, and they're coming out with seven systems this year. 7 systems, folks. 7. Yes, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7. 7 systems. So in today's video, we're going to go over each one of these systems. Now, there's not a whole lot of details about the individual systems, but I wanted to go over this because it's just absolutely fascinating. You know, a company decides to release 7 different SKUs of 7 different systems in the same year. So what are these different ATGames SKUs? Are you going to be interested in this? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the 7 upcoming ATGames consoles for 2018.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards!
Alright, so to be fair, 6 of these consoles are budget-priced consoles that aren't even technically consoles. They're pretty interesting. They're just little HDMI bricks, and you just simply plug the brick into your television and it comes with a controller. Each of the 6 systems have a different controller. Now, these systems will be priced from $19.99 to $39.99, so these are the things that you're going to see probably at Dollar General, Family Dollar, Walmart, those sort of little plug-and-play things where you just buy them on an impulse. But 6 of these systems, like I said, are going to be this little HDMI dongle that you just throw into your television, and then you are playing some classic games. So what do these 6 systems entail? What are the differences between the systems? Well, let's take a look at the first one. So the first system is a Bandai Namco flashback, and this is all part of the Blast Bundle. These systems are a part of the Blast Bundle, which of course has these 6 different systems in them. The first one is the Bandai Namco, and you can see that Pac-Man is a big deal on this Bandai Namco thing. Now, I'm not sure of what other games are going to be on this system, but at least Pac-Man is going to be on the system. Hopefully Miss Pac-Man is on there as well. This system will come with 8 built-in games, and you can see that it comes with a standard Sega Genesis style controller, which we will see for 5 of the 6 systems that we will be talking about on this. So I don't really like the color scheme of the controller, honestly. White and orange, that's kind of weird in my opinion, but you know, as long as the controller itself is okay, I guess that's not a big deal. I am curious to see what other games will be on this system, but yes, you're getting 8 Bandai Namco games on here. There'll probably be like Pole Position on there, maybe, and other things like that, so who knows. The next system is an Activision system that will be coming to the Blast lineup of systems. Once again, it has the white and orange controller like most of these do, and the key game on here is of course Pitfall, as you can see by the marketing. This will come with 20 built-in games, will probably be in the $39.99 range as well. You know, Pitfall's cool. You know, Atari or Activision games are pretty cool. I'm curious to see what other Activision games are on there. Now, the next three, yes, three, are part of the Atari lineup of systems. There's going to be 3 different versions, the Volume 1, the Volume 2, and the Volume 3. One of these volumes has a different controller as well. Each one of these comes with 20 different games. One system comes with Centipede as the main game. One system comes with Asteroids as the main game. Both of those will use the standard white and orange controller. And then you also have a Pong system that will be coming that uses 2 different paddles. And all of these, like I said, have 20 built-in games. They'll all be using the HDMI dongle. All of them use the white and orange controller, except for the Pong console. I'll be curious to see how those little Pong consoles feel, the controllers on them, because I don't know, I haven't really had good luck with the radial things on ATGames and stuff before, but maybe these will be a decent quality. And the final one is a Legends pack, and I don't really know what that consists of. You can see a couple different games on here. You have Space Invaders, Burger Time. This will have 12 built-in games and will of course come with the white and orange controller. Like I said, these are simple plug-and-play systems. Obviously, doing the HDMI dongle, it's not going to be something that's going to be like the most amazing thing in the world. It's simply a way to plug and play a system onto your television and play some old school classic retro games. These will be $19.99 to $39.99. Honestly, I don't foresee myself picking up any of these. You know, they don't really interest me all that much. I have so many systems, plug and play systems, old systems that play all of these games. It's not really going to be a market for me. It's definitely more of the impulse buy thing. But these are 6 of the 7 systems that I wanted to talk about, because the 7th system is actually something a bit more unique, and that'll be something we get a bit more in depth with. So let me know what you think of these systems in the comments down below. And now let's talk about the big kahuna, the big system coming from ATGames in 2018. So the final system is the big one, the AT Legends Flashback. Now, looking at this system, you can see it looks a lot like one of the old plug-and-play Sega Genesis ATGames systems. I feel like they're probably reusing that model, and you can actually look at the controller as well and see that it is pretty much a 6-button Sega Genesis controller. But this is a more traditional plug-and-play system. It actually has the box. You run an HDMI cable to the system. Now, this system will be MSRP at $60, but it does come with 50 games, folks. 50 games we're talking here. So what games are on this system? I have the full list of games, and we're going to go over them very briefly and then talk about some of the features of the system. So the list of games we have are as follows. 1942, Act Fancer Cybernetic Hyperweapon, Astrophantasia, Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja, Breakthrough, Burger Time, Burnin' Rubber, Champions World Class Soccer, Cluster Buster, Commando, Crude Buster, Darwin 4078, Dig Dug, Disco Number 1, Eddie Randy the Cliffhanger, Express Raider, Fighting Ice Hockey, Forgotten Worlds, Galaga, Ghouls and Ghosts, Heavy Barrel, Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja, Joe and Mac Returns, Judge Dredd, Lock and Chase, Mappy, Mega Man 2, Mayoku Hunter G, Felius, Pirate Ship, I can't say that, Pro Tennis, Pro Bowling, Rally X, Rootin' Tootin', Scrum Try, Secret Agent / Sly Spy, Side Pocket Shootout, Sidearms Hyperdyne, Sky Kid, Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, Strider, Super Burger Time, Super Doubles Tennis, Super Pool 3, Super Real Darwin, Terranian, Tetris, and Tournament Pro Golf. 50 games on there, folks. Some of these games are obviously bigger than others. Games like Burger Time, Mega Man 1 and 2, Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers. I'm curious to see what versions of these games these are based on. Obviously, there's going to be a whole variety of systems on this thing. Some of these games came out on various systems. Of course, Mega Man and Mega Man 2 were NES. Super Street Fighter 2, Final Challengers could be arcade, could be Sega Genesis, could be Super Nintendo. Dig Dug, another game. Ghouls and Ghosts, and as an arcade port. Forgotten Worlds, same sort of thing. So I'm curious to see like which versions of these games these systems are. Now, the system also has a few other features. There's going to be save states that you can utilize on it as well. You can do a rewind feature. Like I said, comes with 50 different games, and you know, there's different games from different companies. Some of these games I've never heard of though. And a game like Judge Dredd, that's actually kind of interesting because that's a licensed game based on a movie, and so I'm kind of, you know, confused about that. But this system seems okay. Like, I don't know, it's just such a random variety of games. There's games from Capcom, Acclaim, Data East, Bandai Namco. It's almost like a collection of the smaller systems put onto something with the bigger system with more modern games on it. But that is the 7th console coming to us in 2018 from ATGames. And honestly, They'll probably sell a couple of these. If I had to pick up one of these, I would pick up this one just out of curiosity, just to see how these games run, what versions of the games they are. And it's 60 bucks, you know, getting 50 games, I guess it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing in the world, but the emulation is going to be very important in these systems. Obviously, ATGames is making money because people are buying these systems and they're able to produce these systems year after year after year. Will there finally be a jump in quality that many consumers have been looking for? Obviously, emulating something like the Atari 2600 and Activision games on the 2600, those are easy things, you know. Your cell phone can do that from, you know, 2005. These games, though, are a little bit tougher, so I'll be interested to see how these systems turn out. Will I buy any of these? Probably not, but if I were to buy one, the Legends Flashback would be that one. So I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. ATGames is a fascinating company, a company that I like to talk about from time to time, so I want to know your thoughts on these 7 different clone consoles that will be releasing in 2018 from ATGames. Do you think this is in a response to the Sega Genesis Mini being delayed and of course ATGames getting pushed off of the project, so this is a way for them to make some holiday money? Let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.